Hello and welcome to Gaming with a Side of Salt. Oh, that I thought that was the perfect picture to start with for those, the uninitiated. I guess. Look at that, Chad. Look at that. Oh, the Minecraft movie, everybody! Congratulations. All right, let's give it a good round of applause. I have no idea
all
what's
of your
going on in
children
those clips.
under the guise of humor. Great.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to know.
Okay, honestly, of these two positions, though, which is worse?
Probably Momoa's face.
That one?
I don't know. Go left. Go to the first one you had, because that.
I mean, that one looks really bad.
That one looks
now play the
horrible.
music. Now play the music. That one's probably the worst.
But his head is in the least objectionable position. Like Jack Black's head is like all up in there. That's like right in the space, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jason Momoa is at least tall enough to have cleared, but Jack Black's like, no, I want to get that stank on me. Like, okay, all right. I want my beard to smell of cheese. So, okay,
I don't know about that. But
whatever you want, my guy.
Oh, he looks like he's having a good time right there. So yeah.
All right, let the song
How's
begin.
everybody doing tonight? We have lots of things to talk about. So,
dude, we're going to go long tonight.
We can't go too long. I have to work tomorrow.
All right, then.
Then talk faster.
We'll talk faster.
We got as much for the Nintendo fiasco as everything else combined.
You see all those tabs down there at the end? That's all the Nintendo stuff. So
I don't.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to catch me up on that because I am a neophyte. I don't understand what's going on.
We'll get to it.
Yeah,
don't worry.
The one thing I do want to hit is the Nintendo stuff.
All right, so we're going to start off with a trailer because why not? This is Megan 2.0 official trailer. Has any of y'all seen Megan?
I didn't. It didn't. It was. It didn't really. It's not my jam, but.
Wasn't that the 100% brain usage chick?
No.
No. This is the one where there's like a doll who's made.
No.
There's like this doll, this robot doll who's made, and she kind of goes on a killing spree because she becomes sentient.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I've seen this movie, and it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's a horror movie.
I've heard it's fine if that's your jam. It's not mine.
Parents get killed right at the start, and then they essentially dump her off at, like, I guess, her aunt's or whatnot, right? And her aunt happens to be working for a toy company. They're developing an AI, a new doll, and all this other stuff. And she's doing sort of a project behind the scenes, not doing what she's supposed to be doing kind of deal, which is, Megan. And then, she gets yelled at and all this other stuff. Things happen. She finally hits, the go button. Megan comes to life, and it's an artificial intelligent doll type thing, life-size my, Barbie type deal.
Yeah.
Little robot thing. And its main directive is to protect the little girl, essentially, right?
Essentially.
So it takes it to the extreme logical conclusion. Anything that could threaten the little girl has to die.
Which is humanity.
So it decides it's going to go on. It doesn't really decide to go on a killing spree, but it does try to kill various people and succeeds in killing several of them and a dog and some other stuff because, it was a threat to the little girl. And in the end, they finally shut it down and get it destroyed. It's sort of like a reverse Terminator type thing. Anyway. So
I think that's
a sequel to it.
But that's like the lesson that we learned from, what was it, iRobot, be careful of prime directives.
Yeah. Now, they're making a sequel to it, which I just started seeing the trailers to. Now, on my phone, the animation looks kind of bad, which is why I wanted to see it real quick while I was thinking about it.
Okay.
When you mentioned animation, it made me think about it, which is the only reason we're looking at it right now, because I want to see if it was just my phone or if it does look... Spy Kids-esque bad.
Oh.
Okay? yeah, this is all Meg's fault.
It's not
Forgot
my
to do
fault.
introductions, by the way. Zio, Chad, Meg. There you go. Okay, so
There you
you
go.
know
Let's
who we
go.
are.
We have names. They're at the bottom. We're good. Hello.
But yeah, they're making a sequel to it, and it's not a horror movie.
What?
The sequel looks like it's going to be an action thriller.
So basically, they actually are following the Terminator mold because Terminator
So-
1 actually was a horror movie. Terminator 2 was an
Yeah.
action
Yeah,
movie.
that's why I was like, it's like reverse Terminator, and the first movie wasn't that bad either for what it was. You know, it was a decent horror movie.
It didn't.
It wasn't
look that
like
bad to
super
me.
wow or anything, but it was good enough. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Terminator, the first Terminator actually isn't bad. It's just not as iconic as, How's the
The
Knee
second
Doctor?
one.
Yeah,
this is
so
about a 2-minute
Interesting.
trailer. We're going to hit play.
okay.
I'm going to take a look at it real quick.
It shall happen.
How do I say goodbye?
I'll admit, there were some bugs in my programming. It's hard to
Ooh.
blame me for that. But one thing hasn't changed.
Now, this
I will
trailer
do
is not the
whatever it
one I
takes
saw.
to protect Katie.
I don't think. Or maybe I saw bits and pieces of it. 'Cause I don't
What the
remember
hell
that
is
first
this?
bit.
You put me in this plastic Teletubby?
Prove you can be trusted, maybe we'll give you an upgrade.
Huh.
Mrs. Forrester,
We're sure it's not a comedy.
hunting an autonomous android named Amelia. She was built using your design for Megan.
How's this possible? We deleted it.
Apparently you didn't. Nothing in our arsenal can stop her. She's gone rogue, killing anyone who's contributed to her creation.
I think I did it again.
And you and Katie are next.
Oh shit!
I know how to stop Amelia. She's got a powerful
Well, this really is Terminator 2.
planet. Put me in a body and I'll help you stop her.
You remember what happened last time. You threatened to rip out my tongue and put me in a wheelchair.
I was upset. Everyone deserves a second chance.
You would like
No,
us
that's
to build a
what?
device robot in order to catch another one.
Would you prefer I gave you a printout that you can read at your own pace?
Okay, Megan. Time to give you an upgrade. Anything you'd like to add?
I want to be stronger, faster. Hey, so remember the time I strangled you and set the lab on fire? I want you to know that won't happen again.
Thank you so much.
And while you're at it, make me taller. All right, meat sacks. Let's get to work.
Really, we're gonna go the Bender route.
Hi.
Yeah, it's like a mix between what is it, Alita, I think is what it is.
Yeah, Alita,
And then it has like
Terminator,
the humor of
Futurama.
Bender.
Yeah,
So
And
honestly,
sort of like a Terminator-esque story.
so this
You've
this
got two robots running around.
So this actually reminds me of if you crossed Terminator with Alien, because Alien also, the first Alien was a horror movie, which is why I won't watch it again. It's
Yeah.
fantastic, but I will not watch it again. And Aliens 2 is an action movie, but Aliens 2
yeah.
is kind of silly. Game over, man, and it's
Yeah.
funny and it's got action elements, but it's also funny, and it's kind of got like the plot lines of Terminator. In the first one, robot is there to kill you. Second time, upgrade the plans used to make bigger, betterer, angrier robot. Original robot is brought back to save the world. So it's like they watched those kind of movies, mashed them all together, put on a little bit of Talkie Tina, and was like, go. So
And using that Britney Spears soundtrack
it's humorous.
there.
It's not great, but it looks like it's
Yeah.
stupid fun.
Well, this is like one of those movies where I could see turning your brain off and just enjoying it for what it
Turn
is.
your brain off; it'll be fine. Yes.
And the funny thing is, I think they did something that was freaking genius, though. So this has that was it Uncanny Valley feel,
Mhm.
but it has Uncanny Valley feel by design,
Yeah.
which I think is ingenious, because then it's like they can keep the budget low while simultaneously having that Uncanny Valley and explaining it away because robots.
Yeah, that might have been what I was noticing on my phone when it came to the animation was that uncanny valley feel.
Yep.
And it just didn't really dawn on me that that's what it was. I was just thinking it was bad animation, but it's clearly by design. So
Yeah.
I was programmed to protect Katie. The only question is, are you going to stand in my way? Hold on to your vaginas.
I don't care if she did kill 4 people. She is a smoking hot warrior princess.
I'll make you a deal. You can kill Gemma, but don't touch Katie.
Megan.
So they're leaning hard into this trope here, and
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I wish it wasn't quite so lowest common denominator, but
Yeah. Like
It's-
honestly, this movie could stand on its own.
it looks funny. Like Terminator 2 can stand on its own. Like you just have the backstory of like what happened, and that's kind of what's happening here. Remember that time I tried to kill you? I won't do that again.
Yeah.
But when
Like
she
that-
says, "Yeah, you could kill those other people, just don't kill Katie," and they're like, "Dude."
Yeah.
But, like this character she is a bad person though. Well, a person. Air
Bad
quotes.
robot.
Yes. She's a bad
Naughty.
personality. And she stays a bad personality, which is kind of funny. So they're not really trying to redeem her, but kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that little kid saying that one line, everybody deserves a second chance. Not for murder, darling. You don't get that. That's for God to
Not for
do.
the murder doll. The murder doll should not come back, but we're going to do it anyway.
A, not a person. And 2, not for murder, darling. That is for God to forgive at this point. You are a danger to people. And
You have no soul.
yeah. Just absolutely not. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I just thought I'd show it because it looks like it might be fun.
It's one of those
Just one of
summer
those
fun
turn your
movies.
brains off. They're going for that, this bitch feel and all that other stuff.
See, that's the thing. Like when
it's
they're like, "Hold on
the
to your vagina,"
teenage
and
ants.
that bitch.
Again,
don't
that's a little
need that.
lowest common denominator for me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's still kind of funny. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, but also kind of icky at the same time.
Well, for me,
I
I'm
feel
like,
like it was. This is looking for the female audience, right?
Yeah, the words
And the
try and
humor
hard
is
seem
more
to.
towards
Yeah.
them. I
It's
mean,
a little
just
try hard, I think.
so. But
They're
I
trying to be
think
like,
it will
ooh,
do
so
just-
edgy, and I'm like,
I'm
are you
just
though?
surprised that it got a sequel. It is really, I think,
Yeah.
the most part, because I was not expecting a sequel to that horror movie because I thought it was just like one of those one-offs that nobody really watched. I happen to have enjoyed it slightly. It was okay. The
Apparently,
kids
you weren't the
liked
only
it.
one.
And they they gave it a sequel, and I'm just like, okay, I was not expecting that. That was not on my bingo card. So let's get into the news now.
Oh,
So
I
Meg
seriously thought
actually
this was
submitted
funny.
stuff to the mines.
Look at me adding
I
things.
know. So what is this? 2 farmers with a fiery passion for melon.
They literally thought this was funny.
This is funny. This is funny to Assassin's Creed. So get the laugh track ready. We're gonna need it.
We won't do it.
Okay, so I happened into this area
Oh, wait.
while clearing
Was I
out
supposed to laugh
Azumi
there?
Setsu areas, and it's up in the north, and you can just find it just by following along the path. I ended up taking a picture of it. They're fighting over melons, and which one's going to be the best one? Whichever one you choose, you end up fighting the other guy, but it's kind of funny.
No, it's not.
There's no real name to the quest. It's just fiery melon passion.
The
Pause it.
harvest is
Hold
up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I mean, to be fair, at least there's no black samurais who have watermelons on their heads. I guess.
I mean, are we sure this isn't green
Maybe they
face?
should have brought Yosuke over for
Oh, it absolutely is green face.
the authentic feel.
But as long as it's not a black face wearing green face, then
Could you
we're
imagine
okay.
if they had Yosuke for this quest?
Bro, where did...
Yeah, that's what I just said. It's a missed opportunity. They should have brought Yosuke over for this one.
Oh yeah, if ever the brave people at Ubisoft wanted to be set on fire, they would totally do that.
I mean, trust me,
I'm pretty sure
Ubisoft
you can
set
pick
themselves on
whoever you
fire
want to
every
play
other
with
way.
for the most part.
They're
It's
they're
just
not afraid of
whoever's doing
offending.
this playthrough is playing with what's her face right now.
They're not afraid of offending the Japanese. They're about as afraid of offending the Japanese as they are of I don't know, white Christians. You know, it's just not a thing that people are afraid of offending.
Fighting over melons, and then
Yeah,
you get to pick who wins. So
yeah. It's like a minute and a half quest or something like that, but clip. But yeah, it's them where they're talking about Matt. And the thing is that if you listen to them, they both talk about why their melons are the best. Yeah. Anyway, and then you have to pick one, and you literally kill the one who likes the other type of melon. So if you say I like the whatever the yellow one is, the watermelon guy will try to kill you. That doesn't sound real.
Yeah, it is over the top, isn't it?
I mean,
It's
they
just
have
stupid.
wooden
I know they have
swords.
Boken too, and I'm like, why don't you just fight him and
It's
beat
just
him,
like,
beat him to
do
a
we
pulp?
have to really kill the other one when he's practically defenseless?
Right?
Exactly. That's my
That
thing. Like,
doesn't make sense.
have
If
you
they
guys
were
actually
just
watched?
left alone, the worst thing that would happen is one might get knocked out.
Yeah, and I don't think
at
you even have
some
the option to
point.
not choose. You don't have the option to go, I don't want to be in this. I want to walk away. What did I walk into? Because I mean, if you turn around and go, I'm sorry, are two men with melons on their heads actually fighting, and you go and interact with them, you don't have the option after that to like not have this happen.
Yeah,
To not
it's like,
murder
do
one of
not
these people
interfere,
with wooden
stranger. The
swords.
fate of our melon harvest is about to be decided.
It is so
And then
like,
you
yeah.
interfere.
And it's literally about which melon is better.
Well, but
It's
yeah,
all
Assassin's
stupid.
Creed is having some issues.
Yeah.
Nearing
Say
the
the
end of
least.
Assassin's Creed's main plot, I kid you not.
In the words of what's his name? Joseph
Akechi
Lawson.
Mishudai, who
Um,
historically killed Oda Nobunaga and threw away Yosuke to the Jesuits in real life, just got on his knees in game in front of an entire village and admitted that Yosuke is the greatest samurai in Japan. Didn't somebody foretell this happening? It's like,
Yeah.
and then somewhere in there, they're going to decree him as like the best samurai ever.
Yeah, that was like
He
when
is,
they
and I
first
quote,
introduced the
best of
guy.
all of us. You can tell this game is fan fiction written by liberal white women.
Well, I mean, also they totally emasculate Yasuke. If you watch this gameplay, this character always looks slightly scared or confused. It's like, what the crap, man? I'm sorry. I need you to be a little bit more stoic than this. I mean, as I like to
Yeah.
say, make stoicism great again. The girl is stoic and wooden as crap, but this dude, he kind of has those moments, but he has this thing going on with his eyes and eyebrows where he constantly looks like slightly afraid. It pisses me off inside. I'm just like, we can't have real dudes? Is that what you're telling me? No real guys ever. All right, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. I'm so irritated.
Jeez, even the dog's
Yeah,
mad
even the
about
dog
this.
wasn't happy with it.
The dog shouldn't be happy about it.
So, Assassin's Creed. By the way, if anyone was curious, it has failed horrendously.
Aw,
And we'll
what?
get into it.
Surprise
But
Pikachu
yeah,
place.
so apparently somebody has figured out what's Ubisoft paid several of its shills and have posted it.
Ooh.
Like Hassan up here,
Ugh.
who
Why would
only
someone pay
plays
this?
the video game when
Never
you
mind.
pay him to. He made more money than I make in 2 fucking years working 40
Wait, how
hour
did you get
weeks.
this information? Why do they have this in a spreadsheet?
Well, it was put into a spreadsheet. But anyway, so this are your Twitch streamers here. Here's your YouTube streamer, another Twitch streamer, several YouTubes, some TikTokers, another Twitch.
Wildcat, really?
They paid a lot of money to get
That
this
explains
chilled
why.
out.
That explains why Wildcat was playing that dog shit.
Yeah. Paid to play it.
Yep.
But yeah, so if anyone was curious, there were a lot of shills playing this game, hyping it up, and it still didn't do that well.
I mean, I
And
can't
they
blame
paid a
them for
lot of
taking the
money for
money
that.
because I would take the money.
So apparently,
But would you lie?
what I heard,
No, that would be my
they had
stipulation.
paid like a total of about 100 and some people across the whole thing to play the game. And there's one guy on here, I can't remember what his name was. I think it's this one, JW1 or something.
Yeah.
He one of them played it for like 2 hours because he's a League of Legends streamer.
Yeah.
And then quit and started playing League of Legends. And they paid him almost like my entire salary for the year for 2 hours worth of gameplay. I am in the wrong business, guys. When you can sit there and get paid more than most people get paid in a year to play a few hours of a game, I'm a little bit jealous.
That's like $10,000
So
an hour.
I think Hassan is onto something when he's like, eat the rich. And,
you first, bitch.
If somebody started with Hassan, I wouldn't be upset.
Well, I'd just be like, well, this is what he wanted. This is his own petard. I mean, don't be mad that you got hoisted up on it. It's yours.
Look
sir.
at him for a socialist or a communist or whatever the hell
He's
he
making
is.
a
This
lot of
guy
fucking
who,
money.
Hypocrite. He's a
likes
hypocrite.
terrorists
That's
or
what he is.
whatnot. The terrorist sympathizer. He makes a lot of money just to play a game.
So wait a
Somebody
minute.
calls him Hamas Piker, which is funny.
Wait a minute. So if they're giving him money,
Hamas Piker,
isn't that that's technically illegal?
No, it's not.
No.
It's a contract. It's a
Make your case, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Make your case.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Well, when you fund terrorism, I'm just saying.
Well,
Hassan,
Hassan, I don't think is guilty of terrorism. He's just a terrorist sympathizer.
That's 6 degrees of separation right there.
I mean, it's 7 degrees.
Oh yeah, but
Kevin
he plays
Bacon,
that game very well. Like technically, he does do that. He threads that needle very well, and people, it's that same "I'm not touching you" rule from childhood. I'm not touching you. Technically, my finger's just like 3 inches from your face. It's that sort of thing.
That's why I'm saying I'm like, Now, obviously, I'm joking, but like, or am I?
I know. I'm just like, I wouldn't be, but I mean, that's the thing. I'm like, it is frustrating how much people try to flout the rules, get away with it, and everybody acts like, well, I mean, technically they get away for it. If you're going to be hampered by this kind of stuff, you don't deserve to be in an adult world. You just don't. But whatever. I'm sorry.
See, Ubisoft spent $2.1 million on influencers. Apparently.
And that's just
money well spent.
And it just, wow.
That much on it. Yeah, they even got some clothing company to make them brand name clothes too, apparently.
Antisocial social club. I mean, that's funny, but what does that have to do with?
But I don't want Assassin's Creed Shadow on it.
I know. I'm just like, what is that? What does that have to do?
Also,
Red Bull to do parkour.
Game?
Also, am I the only one that looked at that antisocial social hoodie and was like, they just slapped that graphic on something they already had made,
or somebody else had already made?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I mean, antisocial social club isn't a new thing. I've seen that in the past.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
other things,
they literally just slapped on
the graphic on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they paid Red Bull to get people to do parkour on some kind of set they made. There were some Twitch drops. They apparently paid Lo-Fi Girl to do a remix of all the music too, to play on that channel. Really
they spend money on everything but making a good game.
I like the Lo-Fi channel.
Well, no,
you know what though? I mean, if you look at it, the backgrounds are gorgeous. The hair physics are really good. There's some good elements to it. The worst part of it, as with most modern things, is the storytelling. The storytelling is garbaggio of the highest order. It's so bad, and the voice acting is terrible. Which
So
again,
apparently
I'm
they've
not
been
an expert in, but I've heard a couple of voices once in a while. It's
so
terrible. It's so wooden.
Ubisoft also has a creators program that it was pushing out about months ahead of release, apparently encouraging creators to join in anticipation of the upcoming ties to
Gotta
games,
anticipate it
social
first.
posts, Assassin's Creed, blah blah blah. Anyway, so they got 689 creators from Twitch, 178 from YouTube, and 105 on TikTok.
See, they spent money on the wrong things.
Well, they did. They listen. They paid Hassan almost 80K to play this game, and he barely, I think, scraped in half his normal viewership while playing it because his viewers aren't there for that. They're there to hear they eat the rich bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're there to feel
They
good
get
about
shit
themselves.
shoveled. A
on
different
the
kind
right
of
side of
shit
history.
shoveled into their mouths.
Well, see, here's the thing about this. I'm looking at all this money spent, and I'm like, how much of this could have went to improving the game, having better quality assurance? Because I've seen many bugs that have come from this game, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm glad you mentioned that because they're closing down another studio.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Oh,
but no, hang
Okay.
on. Let's put this into money for Hassan and these other creators closing down a studio. Do you see the disconnect there?
Yeah, the investors, of course, demand Ubisoft to somebody read renegotiate.
Investors demand
10-cent
Ubisoft to
subsidies.
renegotiate Tencent subsidiary deal to initiate legal proceedings because they tried to stiff the investors.
Yeah, well, they have, I
Or
think.
they did.
So
They actually did.
what has happened is Ubisoft has created a subsidiary. Then they moved three of their large subsidiary.
You can do it. There, see?
Did I say it right?
The first time, yes. The second time, well, the first time, yeah. The first time,
Subsidiary.
no. The second time, yes. I can words too. Whoa.
Subsidiary.
No,
Subsidiary?
let it go.
You know what?
Let
I'm
it
in
go.
the sticks, out in the mountains. We say words. We know what they mean.
We don't
Big rock.
subsidize often out here.
There,
Big
I
rock.
did it phonetically
Anyway,
for you.
so they made a small. They made a new company essentially, right? They moved their three profitable things, which was like Assassin's Creed and two other games, Far Cry and something else, and they've moved it to that. So their IPs are now attached to that, leaving Ubisoft proper without them. Because Ubisoft proper is in the dumpster right now, burning down, and they wanted to save those, so they offloaded them. And then Tencent has got 25% stake into it, right? So it owns like 25% of this new Ubisoft subsidiary. Yeah. Anyway,
I phonetically
and paid
spelled it out for you in the
Ubisoft
chat.
a ton of money for that deal, which means, of course, Ubisoft is going to, Tencent is going to have access to, hopefully control the creative process there. But I'm going to bet that it's going to eventually become more Tencent controlled over time.
Yep.
Where it's 25% now, then it's 50%, then it's 75%, until they're a majority stakeholder, essentially, right?
And 51% is majority.
Yeah,
So.
well, 51, whatever. Anyway, they get to the point where they're a majority stakeholder, where they're controlling everything, and your new Assassin's Creed is coming from China, being developed by Chinese developers, and so forth and so whatever.
Well, given
that
China's
would
actually
be the way
competent,
to save it, while Ubisoft proper burns down around them, essentially. So that's how that has happened.
As much as I don't like China, I can't argue that they actually are decent at making games. So
yeah, I mean that's the downside. We hate China, we rail against China, we fight against China, but they're the only ones really developing decent games besides indie people.
Yeah, indie and Asia.
Yeah. But anyway, so Ubisoft sells off all Assassin's Creed was doing was setting the
just
sell
reiterating.
price. Okay, that's just reiterating what we already talked about.
Yeah.
All right, so
next thing.
Yeah, Tencent acquires 25% stake.
That's going to go up to 35, 45 in the next couple years. I guarantee it.
But yeah. So they're saving their bacon right now purely because of the amount of money they just gave Ubisoft to get that. So I think that's like the only reason Ubisoft is, or that is the only reason Ubisoft is standing right now.
Yep.
But it's not enough to prevent them from closing the Leamington studio. So, yeah, another Ubisoft studio has bit the dust.
And another one down.
Might have that somewhere.
Another one bites the dust. Yeah, it just, I know, it's going to be stuck in your head now, which is better than the Oops, I Did It Again, which has been playing in my head on repeat since that Megan
Well, it
trailer.
wasn't in my head until you just said it.
You're welcome. No. We must suffer together. We are co-hosts, sir.
I did it again.
Dude, it was so prevalent in that thing. It was like,
I
and
mean,
it's such an earworm.
do you want? I can knock both of those songs out.
Yes, go for it. What are you gonna do? Oh,
Life is like a hurricane
and copyright.
You know what? That was one of my favorites.
So
the thing is, I didn't really care for the show too much because I'm a girl, but I will say that I loved the song. The song was one of my favorites from that era.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely love DuckTales. Even as like I love the show.
It was more of a boys' show though.
It was.
Yeah, because I mean, Abigail was Uncle Scrooge, and I was like, ugh, every time.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, even as an adult, I'm like that. Somebody needs to punt that duck.
All
right. Anyway,
the new rendition of that song wasn't half bad. So
it was actually the new show was pretty
but
good.
they just sort of made a nice new rendition of the opening, and I was like, I like that. That's not bad.
The new DuckTales, the redone DuckTales, I don't like the art style, but it was a watchable show. It was enjoyable until I want to say about season 3.
I haven't seen season 3.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really watched it.
I think I saw the first season. That was about it.
I just know it was in that art style that
pretty decent, and then they started kind of like trying to like sneak in like the agenda. I was like, oh, the not so secret one. I see you. I see you there. I see you.
I think it was hilarious when Donald Duck was able to talk normally, and he was like this like super like, let's go, we need to rescue the boys, and it's like, wait, you can talk? Like everybody's like, wait, you can talk?
Now, I did see a clip of that the other day, by the way. That exact section right there where dude does whatever and he can talk, and I'm like, he can talk? But no, I've never actually seen that series. I just figured they were going to butcher it somehow, like do really bad. So then I heard the opening theme song. It's like, okay, this actually isn't half bad. But the style isn't that style that's all the rage.
Yeah, I'm not
I've never been really a huge fan of that style, hardly.
They can't make things attractive anymore. It always has to be edgy and stylized. And oh, look at me and how different I am. Like,
so I just never really watched it or anything.
Yeah, you could make something that's visually appealing to human beings. You know, like Leonardo da Vinci's work is still fantastic. It's not, but they all want to be Picasso for whatever reason.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think the problem with a lot of the art style now in animation is it's edgy, and I don't mean edgy as in like avant-garde. I mean edgy as in like literally sharp edges.
Yeah. It is. There's a lot of sharp edges because nobody can do round anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard though. It's actually, I think that people actually are hiding behind the idea of, oh no, I'm drawing like this because this is the way I express myself. And no, you can't. You draw this way because you can't draw well. It is hard to draw something well.
That's why the whole Cal Arts thing was such a big thing for a hot minute, is because these people seem to have lost the ability to properly art.
Yeah, and the thing is that ever since I want to say, as much as I love the Genndy Tartakovsky cartoons like Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls,
they kind of started that
simplistic style succeeding is what allowed people to think, oh, the art can be bad, and I'm like, that was part of the charm of that. But the thing is that don't try to make that.
Also, that was some of their first projects too. So, I mean, if you actually dive into their history and stuff, like Johnny Bravo wasn't even, or the guy who did it wasn't expecting it to really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Outside of that, but then they aired like the pilot episode on whatever it was that they were doing at the time on Cartoon Network, and then it took off from there. So
Well, yeah, I'm saying that's when the studios thought, oh, things don't actually need to look good anymore. We don't need to try, and they stopped. The only
no, because there was
American
still
art.
good stuff out there. It's just some of those that was like their first projects working on that sort of thing.
What is this?
But I mean, the thing that overly simplistic style, and that's when we stopped getting cartoons. Like we got cartoons in the '90s where people were trying to draw things that looked good, that were in either the comic book style or just some sort of faux anime style or whatever. The last really well drawn animation that came out of at least an American studio of sorts, even though it was drawn in Korea, but whatever, was Avatar: Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can go with Korra, but Korra was garbage. But still,
let's not
I never
go with
really
Korra.
saw either.
Avatar
for the most part, I think it was fine up until somewhere in the mid 2000s.
Was one of the best cartoons I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think CalArts really came onto the scene until after that.
No, you're not. The thing is that we used to do something called movie night with my family, and everybody would get to pick a movie. And one time it was my turn, and because I am me, I was like, "We're gonna watch Avatar: The Last Airbender," and all of the adults groaned, and the kids were like, "We don't care." And I put it on, and everybody was so invested in it.
Yeah.
It's a very well done show, and I hate stuff with kids. I have always hated stuff starring kids. It just pisses me off because kids are stupid. Because we were all kids at some time, and we remember being stupid. So, but it was very, very well done. It's a good show. Do not watch the Netflix adaptation.
Yeah, it was. Like CalArts wasn't really taking off until about 2010 as a thing.
Yeah, so. And the thing is but I think that the shows that succeeded that had the simplistic style made studios go, oh, we can use something that's this simple.
Yeah, but that was 90s. I don't think that was the thing. I think they couldn't find someone who could draw like they used to.
Yeah, no, they're saying what I'm saying is that not that they were like, oh, let's copy this because it was from the 90s, but actually that was like late 90s, early 2000s, because that went into like the early 2000s, like maybe 2002, 2003, but that's when studio houses found that they could get away with that. And then they were like, oh, look, someone's got this really ugly CalArt style. They're like, well, these other things that were simple succeeded, so we should bankroll this because it'll be fine because it doesn't matter anymore. And now we don't have anything that looks good because it's hard to do. It is. It's hard to draw good.
Horrible.
Wow, that hurt. It's hard to draw well. I'm sorry.
Listen. I was looking this thing up real quick, and it brought up a picture of Thundercats Wild, and I was like, I didn't need to remember that existed. I want them to go back and do that anime Thundercats again.
Dude, it was so good. Oh my gosh, I forgot about
good. And it got like 1 season, 2 seasons, I think, and then got canceled. And I was like, why?
It was 1 season, I think, and it was so good, and I was so sad that they stopped telling that story. It was actually voiced the lead.
The thing is, Thundercats was okay.
The first one, the original one.
That I went out of my way to watch, kind of show back the first Thundercats, right? The original.
Oh my gosh, no, it was terrible. It was.
It wasn't something I would go out of my way to watch. If it was on, I'll watch it, but that was it. But then I discovered that Thundercats, the anime one that they did, and I was like, there needs to be more of this. And then I found out there wasn't, and I was like, this is a sad day.
So the thing with Thundercats,
the same thing with Marvel too. Like for some reason, somebody did a thing where Japan drew up all these Marvel shows, and anime style. So you've got like Iron Man and the Hulk, and the X-Men in the style.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Loved every one of them, but they didn't do many of them. And it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because they would have been so much better.
So, I mean, the thing is that you remember the original Thundercats, though, like, right? The intro is still fire to this day. The intro of that show was great. And then the show would start, and you'd be like, what the heck is this? The quality went off a freaking cliff, and everything was very Hanna-Barbera. Everybody stands around.
Yeah, but I love that, so,
it's constant recycling. It's ha 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 ha. It's just so corny. And
Yeah,
so
I
the thing
love
is that the
it.
anime version of it that came out in what is it,
Was
2010? I want to
great.
say 2009, 2010, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Was actually like it felt like it fulfilled on the promise though that you got in the intro from the first one, where you're like these otherworldly characters that are kind of cats, and you're like, what is this? But when the shows came on in the original one, it was like these are just people who have a weird aesthetic going on. It didn't feel different. That show, yes, that show right there, they were like,
Spider-Cat
let's actually
2011.
explore all of this stuff, and it's so different and interesting. And Lion-O kind of growing into being a leader instead of automatically being like, Gary Sue. It was good. I liked it. And I wanted it to continue. I wanted it to continue the arc. I wanted it to continue the story and the storytelling. It was so interesting.
So I got a new sound effect.
What?
Because of how off the rails we've gotten and how long we've been talking about this, I decided to get something for this scenario. Play.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
I totally thought you were going to play the up squirrel.
Get on with it.
I totally thought you were going to play up
with it.
squirrel.
Pow World is releasing a dating sim called More Than Just Pals. If
You
thought
wanted
it
us
was
to
an
stop
April
talking
Fool's
about
joke
Thundercats
last
to talk
year,
about this.
it's not.
I have immediate regrets.
But
here we are.
This is what you asked for, Chad. When you spoke
Before
right
anybody
there.
asks, no, I am not going to play it for Valentine's Day.
I don't
Chad,
want this.
next Valentine's Day, I have a game.
Don't want this to be. This is gonna be night. You gonna understand. This is gonna be a nightmare for me. This is
gonna be one of those things that everybody's gonna play for a week.
Yep.
Just stream it and be
talk
horrified.
about it. And then
What
it's
they
gonna
need to
get
do
memory
is they need to
hold.
release it just before Valentine's Day.
So
every day we stray further from God.
I still don't believe this is real. That's the thing.
I didn't either, but then I realized wait,
last
no,
year-
this is no.
last
You realize that Japan?
No, I realized
Last
that it
year.
has a Steam page.
Last year they dropped this trailer. Okay, the one that's right here on April Fools, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, haha, funny, and all this other stuff. This year, they dropped it the night prior to April Fool's with a Steam page. And it's like,
either they're trolling
wait a
us really hard.
second.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do not
Now we got
want-
this.
Please do not do. Don't do this, guys. We don't need these kind of nightmares.
Yeah. Gonna have to play it. This might just be a running joke at this point. That
It
every
might be.
year
I
they'll
don't
drop
know,
it
but-
out. They'll drop a little bit of it, like every April Fool's Day or right beforehand. So everyone's just like, "Is this real? Is this going to happen, or is this not?" There you go. That's who you're going for, isn't it, Chad?
No.
Gillette. Oh.
I'm sorry. Are you playing as a pal, or are you like a human and you're
I think
able
you're
to
a
make out with a
human.
pal?
You're
I
a
don't
human
know.
going to
This seems to be straying,
school
like I
with
said,
pals.
further from the sun.
And see, the thing is, Power World has a pal called what is it, Love Handle or something? Love Hander? I can't
Lavander.
remember what her name is. And like her entry, like Pokedex entry essentially is
creepy.
just like how she forces herself on dudes if she finds them and stuff.
Why in
I'm
the
like,
what?
what? Oh, let me see if I can find that.
Brother,
Yes, brother. Ew.
The,
What's that, brother?
Yeah,
There
no,
we go.
I
Lavender.
No.
Seeking a night of love, it is always chasing someone around. At first, it only shows interest in other pals, but in recent years, even humans have become the targets of its debauchery.
There is so much
Man, why do you do it, man? Stop making Matt Walsh's case, okay? Please.
Which means there's got to be a love actor in the game.
There is.
Oh. But anyway, so that was a thing that happened.
I refuse to live in a world where Matt Walsh is right about video games and anime. Please stop
I
it.
know
Japan.
Matt Walsh is right about a little bit of some of them. Okay, give him that one. He can have more than
He's
just
right about
pals.
like 2.
No, it's more than 2. There is a very specific.
No, there's like a very specific. Oh, speaking of which, oh, dressed up in
ID
a
is
school
69.
uniform too.
Please don't.
The Black Bucketeer.
Why do we have humans and these little animal things together? Like, Splatterina. That's terrible.
This
Oh
is just
no!
hilarious.
No.
All right.
This is why we can't have nice things. We can't have innocent things anymore. The world is no longer safe for children.
So this page doesn't load anymore.
That's fine.
Which one was that?
This was Pirate Nation, I think, and it was about Enzoy having male and female options.
Oh yeah.
I guess before they found the non-binary tick.
Okay.
Started having an issue with it.
Hang on. I got something particular. I didn't post it because I want you to bring it up.
All right.
Go to my channel. Bring up the Enzoy live stream. It's literally should be like one of the most recent ones.
While he's doing that, how are you finding Enzoy?
It's one of the best. Like if you like The Sims, you'll love this.
Infinitely. I don't like The Sims.
Okay.
So I was trying to watch, while you and the waifu were talking about it, and I was just like, my God, this is boring. But I don't want to the game is boring. You guys were interesting. I was only able to stay awake because you guys were talking.
Okay,
so I was like, why?
Just skip my intro because right at the beginning I address this.
Okay. Well, where?
Dude, what is up with the hair?
Past the intro at the beginning.
You know what? We're going to go through the intro and get to it. How's that?
All right.
Just because
the thing is, I saw Pirate Nation's post and people were losing their shit. So
which is also something I wanted to talk about too for a second. We just hadn't been able to do this till now.
Every level clear, every boss I'll send. Come on, watch me play, let's try.
Now, if you want to hear that intro more, you got to go to his channel and hit the follow button, people.
I have to say, as a singer, I do find it annoying that AI music is becoming prevalent, but it's still that doesn't mean that I can't say that this is catchy and fun to listen to.
Yeah, and honestly, if I could hire a singer, I would. But
here we go.
Right.
Well, you'd have to hire not just singers, but musicians too.
Here we go with Enzoy, and I'm probably butchering that name.
You are.
Yeah, we're here to create our Enzoy.
Enzoy, really?
This isn't right. Right.
Why are you a lady?
Incomplete demo. Let's go back.
Oh yeah, I missed.
Go to new game
because I was at work and I was like, "Wait, are you playing?"
Here's the actual game.
Wow, dude is super macro.
I have my Zoe made. Boop. Apply. There we go. Now, he probably doesn't look the most like me. Actually, let me ask you.
Well, I know he's got hair.
I think it looks fine. As long as you don't
he's got hair.
Yeah. Actually, they don't. That's the closest I could get. But yeah, in the demo, which was incomplete because it didn't have select traits, select desires in life.
Listen, you're missing the bottom part right here.
I think the only thing it didn't. I don't even think it had a name. I think it just had
going on.
If I remember right, I think it just had the age group and gender, male, female. or what now with the complete game, you got name, select a trait, which this is so hard to select. So, and I'm probably going to need some assistance. So there's scholar.
Dude, you stayed on that for so long, and I was like, no, that's wrong.
I've always been called a wise ass. So,
oh my gosh, how far do we have to go to get to
no, that was it. I already covered it. Your leader, Joe, but you were too busy talking over it. Gender. The actual game.
No, I was going to torment you with it.
Male, female, and you can add the edit thing.
As long as you don't take his shirt off.
Yeah. So, I'm going to show that off. But yeah, in the demo, which was incomplete because it didn't have like select trait, select desires in life. I think the only thing it didn't. I don't even think it had a name. I think it just had. If I remember right, I think it just had the age group and gender, male, female. Or what now with the complete game, you got name.
That's the thing. They said that they added this. It's like, no, you dumbasses. The demo was the demo. It was incomplete.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was that all you didn't address anything? You just glossed over it.
No, I did.
I mean, outside of saying it was incomplete.
Well, to be fair, it's more that like I didn't know what the actual argument that they were having was. Like, oh my gosh,
the argument was the fact that
yes, but with other things
existed.
that were added in, so clearly it was incomplete, so their vision wasn't quite there.
It's a demo. That's why I was getting annoyed with people online because I'm like, look, you're making me defend something I'm not really interested in defending.
Yeah,
and it's like they day one had it in there. It's not that they added it; it's that these idiots online are like, oh well, they added it in there. They buckle. It's like, no, they did not buckle. This was day one in there.
Yeah, see, the thing with this, and I said it, on Twitter for a second, like, they know their market audience. Their market audience is those who are playing the Sims games.
Yeah.
Who primarily plays the Sims games? I can tell you who doesn't.
Me.
It's us. Okay, I take it back. Me and Chad will play them, but
I know, and I absolutely won't.
It's usually the people who are, the anti-woke side. I guess is the best way to put it. They're not the target audience for the Sims games. They haven't been.
Yeah,
there's rare ones like me and Chad who will play the Sims and enjoy it, right? And but for the most part, most of those people who like playing things like Elden Ring and stuff, they don't play the Sims games.
I will say
not the target audience. The target audience are usually women. They're the ones who overwhelmingly make up the content for this game on everything. They make the content, they make the creator content, they make the videos, they make the guides, they make the live streams for this style of game, and a lot of them are liberal or left-leaning. So they're okay with it. That's not a big deal to them.
Yeah, I will say this though,
the biggest controversy...
They gotta work on that body hair. My goodness.
Yeah, the biggest controversy this game had was the fact that it didn't have good enough black hairstyles, apparently. Because I ran across a Sims 4 stand, is what I'm going to call her, because she was looking for any excuse not to play this game, so she made a short, essentially, complaining about the character creator here, and for the entire minute, long short, it was, they don't have my hairstyle. Is this black hair? This is not black hair. This is not how those goes. Could they not tighten those curls? Could they not tighten those rolls up? And all this other stuff. And it's like, well, they don't really have my hair type either, honey, but I'm still going to play the fucking game.
Yeah, let me say, they do not
didn't have to spend a minute explaining to us that your hairstyle doesn't exist, therefore you're going to stick to Sims 4. Like, her entire comment section was people pointing that out, going, it's like, okay, then continue playing The Sims 4.
Right.
Like,
the thing is, like, Sims 4 doesn't really have...
and,
Sims 2
Sims 4 is, more polished, and it's got that stylized, cartoony look to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to really find my hairstyle there either, because it's cartoony.
Yeah. And the thing is with Enzoi, it's I believe that the studio is in Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah,
and
that was the other thing to it, was complaining about how everything looks more Asian. And it's
yeah,
like, do these
that,
people not know what black people look like? And it's like, no, they probably don't, because they exist in Korea.
yeah, and
No
even if
offense,
they
but
do,
Korea is not Europe.
yeah,
Korea
and
is
that's
not
the thing is,
America. They go outside. There's good chance that most of them have never seen anyone who was any other color than them,
yeah,
except for on a TV screen at the movies because they got Marvels or something. You know?
yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I made my character as close as I could to me, but I knew that I would look more Asian because that's how the character models look.
But yeah, that was like its biggest controversy for this game, was that
But
hairstyles.
they tried to make it about the whole like non-binary thing, and I was like, you guys are retarded.
But yeah, the anti-woke crowd tried to make it over the non-binary thing, and I was just like, guys, this is not marketed towards you. This is one of those,
Yeah,
you should pick your hill. You don't pick this one.
yeah.
It's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do you any favors. It is literally just going to make you out to look crazy.
Well, it's going to make him look like an asshole that
Like
doesn't do
complete
their research.
assholes. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't play this style of game. You are literally the tourist in this one.
Yeah.
You know, when you call other people tourists, just remember, you're doing the same damn thing to this game. This is not Stellar Blade. This is not Lollipop Chainsaw. This is not Elden Ring. This game was not made for you in mind at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is the complaint? I don't like this, and I'm not going to play it, or is the complaint, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this.
That's
so
from
I
the
won't play it.
anti-woke.
Yeah, that's the anti-woke. And then from what I noticed on the other side, the Sims stands hate it because, you know, it's not a Sims game.
Yeah.
And
Well, I saw someone
realistic.
saying that it's creepily heterosexual. And I was like, I'm sorry, that's most of humanity. That's how the species has continued, but go on.
Now, the Sims stands are finding anything that they can nitpick from it, because this game is in early access for one. So it's not even a complete game right now, but you can go play it. So they're complaining that it's a paid early access
Aren't
to start with.
early access games like that?
And the game is going for more of a realistic feel. So the graphics look way better because it's an Unreal 5.
Yeah. Also, they're adding a bunch of new. They're adding gig economy careers. I think
and for the most part, it is kind of bare, but it's no different than almost.
I don't know. Did you see all the conversations that Chad had to have in that cafe?
Listen,
I
I'm
was
still
like,
upset.
oh my gosh, I want to die.
I'm still upset that there's no job for the cafe.
There's no what?
There's no job for the cafe.
Are you sure?
Yes, because the second Chad was like, you can make coffee as a skill, right? That you can train. And then I discovered I can go train it. And then I was like, I'm getting a job at the cafe. That's the only path forward for me now, is at the cafe. No, the cafe's not an available job that you can grab.
Yet.
Yeah, I mean, not yet, but I don't know if they plan to.
Well, no, that's the thing is, I think they plan to make a lot of jobs, and I think
I hope so. I really do.
My thing is,
they've got like this. See, with The Sims, jobs are for the most part rabbit holes. All right.
Yeah.
You go to work, you disappear. In this game, it's got a mixture of rabbit hole and non-rabbit hole jobs, like the amusement park.
Yeah,
the problem is some of them, like the amusement park, there's no advancement to it.
Yeah, I found that out, and I was like, oh, so that's why I can't.
After I worked at the amusement park for 3 fucking weeks, I realized there was never going to be an advancement option unless you're in the office. If you're part of the amusement park office, there is an advancement to, the supervisor of the office, essentially. And that's it.
And even then, like, I think I did it off live stream, but I swapped to the IT career path.
Damn it, me too.
Well, look at us.
I was like,
that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I went to the amusement park myself, and then I swapped to the IT software development.
Yeah. And what's funny is, so they're adding like gig economy career paths, but I'm going to be 100 at level 10 of the computer skill. I can just make software and pump it out
And
Yeah, but the problem is with that, it is horribly inconsistent.
True, but
I don't
doesn't
know
that
if you
make sense
noticed or
though?
not, but the amount you can be level 10, you can write a level 0 program, which should be, in my opinion, excellent every time you do it.
Yeah, perfect every time.
Every time it should be a perfect program. It's not. The amount of poor quality or bad quality programs I get, even though I've maxed out that skill, makes it worthless in my opinion to even work on. But do you know what? I did find one that is worth doing.
What's
and
that?
It is art. Put yourself about 5 or 6 easels down, go to one and start doing the level 1 stuff. I think it's the still life portrait or the still life
I haven't even touched
canvas.
art, so
Yeah, if you do that, you have a much higher chance of hitting a good or higher quality, even at a low level, from doing
okay.
art. That you can make a ton of money. Like heck, I made it to cost $15 for the canvas, right?
Mm-hmm.
You paint the still life image. Even at poor quality, you can sell it for like about 80 to 100. So you've already made the money back from the canvas, even if it's bad quality or poor quality. But the amount of times I've gotten good plus on the quality has been
Mm-hmm.
outrageous in that department just from doing that alone. And then you paint one, then paint another, and then paint another, and then put it up for sale. Granted, it takes a minute for it to sell because it has to go up onto the market. Somebody's got to buy it, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But, you're selling a level 1 painting for $3,000.
You might want to try. You might want to try that again with IT, because I was doing it a week or so ago, and I think they might have patched that, because the IT I was consistently getting good and above.
I was not.
That's what I'm saying. Try again and see maybe if they updated it, because I know they're still tweaking things.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, get on with it.
So yeah, in Zoe, people, it had some issues for some reason. It does have a few issues here and there, but yeah. Hardware.
It's rough.
The thing is, I don't know. I have I guess a middle of the range PC in this day and age because it's so old.
Yeah.
And it runs it with no problem. So
same. No, when I say
I'm not
rough,
even running I'm not even running on medium or minimum. I'm running it over on the recommended, I guess.
I went above
I don't think
high.
I have
I
a
went
32
ultra.
gig GPU. I've got a 16, I think, but
I went ultra just because I was like, you know what, I'm going to see if this blows up, and it didn't. So, I think that they.
Oh wait, that's RAM. My bad.
Yeah.
I do have 32 gigs of RAM, but it wasn't using all my RAM, so.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it looked fine. I even put on the smart. Oh, I'm sorry. This is smart Zoe hardware requirements. Okay, so this is a different thing, by the way. Just in case anyone was curious, there's a setting called Smart Zoe, and
I have not messed
it
with
affects essentially the AI of everything within a radius of you.
Really?
To be more intelligent, I guess, or something like that. When you turn it on, it recommends that you bring your settings for graphics and stuff down a level. And I told it to fuck off. I'm going to leave it as is.
Yeah.
But I haven't had an issue with it, so.
Yeah, I think they kind of overestimated.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. You want to do that. You don't want to be like, yeah, you can run it on anything.
Yeah, you never want to overpromise and underdeliver.
But I think the best thing about all this, Sim stands aside, is the fact that they were actually launching this with Denuvo. Because I saw that. Chad saw that. I think we both linked it to each other at the same time. And we were like, damn it, why Denuvo? Of all things. And then the day before they launched, the news broke that they were canning Denuvo.
As everybody should.
Yes, everybody should. And it does not have Denuvo, and it shows. It does not have a whole lot of performance issues like other games that are running Denuvo has when they launch. Granted, it's got some issues where your Zoe is in weird locations, but that's
Yeah.
from programming and AI and stuff and
Yeah.
collision. But you know,
By the way,
where you load into say Monster Hunter, which I think does have de novo, it takes a minute
Oof.
for everything to load in.
Yeah.
That's because of de novo.
Also,
so
I got an audio clip of the developers meeting with the de novo people.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, or it won't play, or it won't play.
Shed fumbling.
Why are you not?
Why is it not playing? We don't know.
Seriously.
Technical difficulties.
You know what? Never mind. Just get
All right. So the audio clip has been lost to the ages.
Oh yeah. Man,
Okay,
this
what
was
is
like 2 weeks ago. Gosh.
Yeah, because we're that far behind.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't even remember what this is.
So, this guy, I forget what game he's the dev of, but he was basically saying, "Look, reminder, we make video games, not Lords of the Fallen." There you
Lords
go.
of the Fallen. Okay.
And he did the whole reminder, we make video games, not politics. We stand for non-political and non-social agendas. No DEI in gaming content. Our next games and updates will follow that. And it kind of split the internet when I don't think it should have. But I found it to be kind of a white pill where I'm just like, look, I don't want to even know that you exist, which is, you know, I know I make this argument every time, but I don't want to know your name, sir. I want to know your game. That's all I really want, really. You know, as a gamer, I just want to play game. I don't care who you are. If I met you in person, I'd be like, oh, hello, fellow human, but that's not the thing right now.
Yeah,
You know, it's not
I
about you being a
remember
personality
a
or a
lot
good
of
person.
the normal crowd getting very upset over those words.
Oh, they're so mad.
Look upon you with pity, my lost child.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, not my jam, but it looked cool.
Reject
I was like, I'd watch this movie. I'll watch somebody play this.
and the deranged servants of the self-proclaimed judge. And the torturous mission to which they have bound you.
And look at that detail now. That's pretty cool.
Only then will you know freedom, and if you would hear it, the truth.
When light fears the shadow, to faith we hold fast. Burn their very souls to ash. Demon gods awaken. The undead stir. And our lands burn with the fire of Rogan.
Yeah, that looks good.
It does, right? And the thing is that the thing that kind of gets me when I see that, though, is that it says the main thing that we do is we make games. And you can kind of see that in this, where it's like, look, we put all of this detail into these things because we cared about those little things. We didn't care about the message or our politics or how we're going to try to social engineer the peoples or prove that we're good people. You know, but yeah, it did split the internet. But I mean, like I said, this isn't my jam to play, but I'd absolutely watch someone play it, or I'd watch many people play it because it just looks really cool. I'd watch a movie like this.
Usual suspects are very upset about it.
Yeah.
Translation: in our games, we will only find white straight characters with stereotypical hot women that will attract.
I see.
Well, if it's in Europe, I guess so. I mean, if it were in Africa, maybe not, but it just looks like it's in Europe, so that would make sense. I mean, and hot women, I don't know who's mad about that. I'm not against attractive people in games. And then
No
you have some people who are like,
no choices on dialogue, no inherent messaging or statements, no multiplayer, no subtitles, or control charge, or no colorblind. The fuck is this guy going on about? Shit, it's like a boring ass game. Remember that at the end of the day, diversity, equality, inclusion is there for a reason. What?
Yeah,
They,
it's colorblind options. I'm like, wait, what?
they've been broken.
No
Remember,
multiplayer. Like Black Myth Wukong wasn't either. A lot of RPGs
Right.
kind of like this aren't like that. So no subtitles. Again, don't need.
probably does have subtitles. That's the thing.
I
It's
don't
like things
know.
like subtitles and stuff, just kind of a natural part of games at this point.
Yeah, but no character creator. Okay, no choice on dialogue. Okay, I mean no inherent message. The thing is that I don't want an
Well, I'm
inherent
pretty
message
sure
or statement.
several of the games that they like don't have character creators. Like, what was that recent one that just launched?
Well, the one that I like is Legend of Zelda. So there's no character creator there.
Jeez, what is it? Ask Creed
Mario?
Shadows? That's right. There was no character creator there.
No, absolutely not. There's no character creator in
They liked
Astrobot.
that. Granted, it failed miserably, but and Ubisoft had to spin up a subsidiary, and Tencent had to come in and buy them
Keep
for a
trying with
pretty
that word.
price, and shut down a studio. But hey, they got their diversity and inclusion, right? So
They got the message, although
they got the message.
It's very confusing, honestly, as to what it is.
No black or gay characters, can't afford to piss off the shits. Yeah, like these people don't know what they're even talking about. That's the thing.
Well, again, you know what? I think that
know
what we have
I know
is
it's
people,
past, but I got the clip.
what a lot of these people are doing is they're trying to prove what good people they are. And of course, the
Of
queen of
course.
all cringe.
Yeah. These people are such losers. Gamergate, Trumpism, alt-right, all defined by absolute unparalleled levels of dork-ass loserdom. The internet made them think they aren't losers. They are. Yeah.
Says the true winner of
Yeah.
of all things.
Hey, it looks like I can use that clip now.
Bye, bitch.
There we go. What exactly is she doing these days? Besides
Who cares?
suing somebody, I think, still.
Trying to stay relevant really hard.
Yeah,
She's the former Kotaku editor in chief or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, her messaging couldn't save Kotaku or whoever. I can't remember. She's dumb. Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, I just thought that it was interesting how someone just coming out and saying, "Look, we're just going to care about the game," and then you can see that in the game and just how much detail and how much attention to like these little things they've put into it, what they really cared about. Which is why when we see somebody making these political statements, we get annoyed because we're like, "Oh, you probably didn't pay as much attention to the little things." And we may not notice it in, when we look at it and go, something's off, but I don't know what it is. It's going to be like that thing where it's like, you didn't notice, but your brain did. And you don't notice all of the little things that aren't there until you see something that has all those little things in it. And that's called care. That's really, really dedication to the art, to the craft, to the game itself, as opposed to look at me and how good a person I am and what I put in this game. It's narcissism that we're tired of.
So this
I'm done.
is
Sorry.
Dragon Wilds.
In brand.
Makers of RuneScape.
Looks good.
It's got a Pixar style.
Or is it RuneScape Dragon Wilds?
I think it's RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
RuneScape family, then.
Yeah, it's part of RuneScape.
All right.
It's basically where they brought it.
Open world co-op survival crafting. So we're playing this. Got it. Okay, added it to wish list.
My plan worked.
I mean, I know that's why it's there. I saw the building aspect. I know what I'm doing. So what we've all been waiting for, the Nintendo Switch.
I haven't.
So, Nintendo, in their infinite wisdom, is bumping up the price of video games. No longer are games at the $70 price point. No, they don't have to worry about GTA trying to launch at $90 because Nintendo is beating them to the punch. So now the entire industry will raise its game prices to $80 to $90. Yay!
Y'all gotta understand, I was massively into Nintendo. I all the way up to the Switch. I was like ride or die for Nintendo. I wouldn't even say fanboy because like if they screw up, I'll call it out. This is me calling out this entire thing of the Nintendo Switch 2 is such a massive misstep, but it won't matter because they do have the fanboys.
Now, Nintendo is doing a couple of good things with this. Okay.
Okay.
So hear me out.
Yeah, I'm
They're
interested in
dual
this
pricing
this
their
conversation.
games. They're dual pricing their games. Digital games are $80 for the Switch 2.
See, that's the
Physical
part that makes me angry.
copies are $90. They're doing the thing that we originally was kind of hoping we would go towards when when companies started pushing the digital, you
Mhm.
know, only domains of stuff, right? And it's like, okay, so that means you guys can keep the price down, right?
Yeah.
And it won't cost the same amount as a
It's like
physical
that Star
copy. So we
Wars
can
meme.
see like what, $40 for a digital, 60 for a physical, that sort of thing, kind of deal. And then it never happened. Everything was $60 and then $70, and we complained about that, of course. And they still moved to the $70 realm, so the digital is 70 and so is the physical, which makes no damn sense. Nintendo did understand that, so digitals will be $80 while physicals will be 90. Now here's the problem with all that. Do you know what you're going to buy with a physical copy?
That's what I hate. Go ahead.
You're going to buy a little plastic thing
Mm-hmm.
that has a key on it, essentially, kind of like an access key that you plug into your Switch, so
Mm-hmm.
your Switch knows that you can download the digital version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They're making you pay extra for a little piece of plastic to make you think you're getting a physical copy.
Yep.
You're not. Because without internet, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and that's the part that I
Because you have
hate
to
so
download
much.
the game.
That is the worst of all of the worlds.
Oh no.
No,
You
it gets
don't
better.
No,
It gets better.
Yeah, Meg, you don't understand what I found out.
Now,
Oh no.
now this right here is the price it looks like for the units, right? $449 with Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart game, I assume. Okay? So not only is the price like tripling in price or so, because what is the Switch like $290 or $199 right now?
Something
Right?
like that.
So what did Switch
And they
come out
launched at
as, though?
$199 or $299, one of those two. Or maybe it's the lightest $199 and the basic Switch was $299. Anyway, so it's like $100, $200 more expensive, but in Japan, it's cheaper by about $150. And the console in Japan is region locked, and it only has Japanese available for language on it. So if you buy one of those because it's cheaper, you can only play it in Japanese. All right. While all the other units are international, so they come with German, English, France, and all that other languages on it, which, apparently if we just made it English, I guess we could drop it $150 or so, which, I wouldn't mind being region locked to America for a cheaper console. So they're doing that. And on top of that, now we're going back to one of the good points.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo has a plan to stop scalpers from scalping, and it's a good one. So essentially what you have to do is you have to already essentially have a Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the Nintendo Switch Online thing subscription for at least 12 months.
I thought it was 3.
12 months. I'm pretty sure it was 12 months.
Okay.
And a few other things. And if you have all that and you have a Nintendo account and all that stuff, you'll be granted access to pre-order the Switch 2.
Oh, okay.
Which prevents scalpers from scalping every unit known to man.
Well, at least in the
Which is actually really good. It's really good. Now the
Yeah,
downside is it's
there's a lot of
$80
good
fucking
things
dollars a game.
But
Okay.
here's the thing. There's a lot of good things about this. When I was watching the direct, I was excited for this, and then and by the way, the price of the hardware doesn't really phase me because they have upped a lot of their hardware side. However, when I went through and did some hypotheticals using AI, I found out how fucked up this price gouging is. But yeah, we'll come to that later. What's the next?
I mean, explain it to me like I'm 4.
So
Like,
if
what is it? What's up? What's going
they
on?
would only have to sell like about 1 million at the $80/$90 mark to actually, Zio, did you got that link to the AI?
No, I do not.
I put it in there.
Oh, I don't know. It might be then. I've got like multiple tabs open, so.
Okay, well, we'll get to it eventually.
If we get to it, we'll get to it. If not, I will find it in the chat logs.
Okay.
But anyway, so
wait. I know that there's a lot of dialogue going on about the price of games. But like adjusted for inflation, I mean, the thing I don't like is that the physical games. I mean, I think that digital games should cost less than a physical game because distribution and all that stuff. You actually gave me a thing that having to have a case that you can download it is just irritating. But I know why they did it because they don't want resellers being able to, I don't want this game anymore, so I'm just going to sell it on
that
eBay.
and it saves some money.
Hmm?
That and it saves some money because they're not actually putting anything on there.
Yeah, this is true. So, I mean, I don't understand why you would buy the physical download key. But for the prices, I don't like the prices getting that high, but weren't video game I mean, if you adjust what we paid for games back in the day, isn't this kind of the same?
No?
No?
That's what I found out.
So,
the arguments right now from the Nintendo stands is inflation and tariffs. The tariffs thing kind of falls apart when you realize that it's that internationally. It's not just America pricing. That's internationally. So if the game is $90 here in America, it's like $120 in Canada.
Yeah.
When you adjust for the change in
in the
the
exchange
dollar
rate,
amount,
yeah.
and the same in other countries, right? So it's a huge increase because right now I think what is it? Nintendo games are $59.99 brand new or something.
Yeah,
there are $60 games. This is almost like pretty close to almost doubling in price. But the thing is, their launch title is going to be the new Mario Kart, which is essentially Mario Kart 8 with an open world element for their new race mode.
And don't get me wrong, it looks fun, but
it does. It looks great. I want to play it, but at the same time, I feel like playing a game of Sea of Thieves when it comes to Nintendo now, which also explains why Nintendo was so hell-bent on going after every emulation known to man these past couple of years. It's for this right here, because they know what the fuck they're doing. They know their fanboys are going to lap it up. The problem is, there's also a lot of us who don't want to pay $80 for a game. It's already bad enough that we have to pay $70, and not a whole lot of $70 games are getting done or is like breaking the mold either. A lot of the games that have been breaking the mold have been much cheaper.
Yeah.
With a few exceptions, like Armor Core 6, Monster Hunter, what was that other game that was full price that everybody wanted? I can't remember what it was, but there's been a few. But those were really good games too, for the most part. But a lot of the other games like Helldivers and stuff, and Enshrouded, and Power World, and that broke the mold, and everybody, that sold millions upon millions of copies, they didn't cost full price.
No, not even close. By the way, I got the AI thing up. I'm screen sharing that if you need it.
So, I mean, I don't like the super
Send me the
expensive
link.
games. I'm just saying I remember
Dude,
games being pretty
it's
expensive when I was a
literally
kid.
the screen. Look at the screens at the bottom.
Yeah, I know, but it won't let me swap to it.
But I mean,
you just have to end yours, and it should default to it.
Okay.
There
and
we
it
go.
did not. I can't read that.
Hang on,
You
I'll
have
zoom
to
in.
read for us, Chad. It's
Okay,
kind of
Nintendo
tiny.
does not
The
publish
eyes
reports
aren't that good.
So, I'll summarize. Okay.
Mhm.
How much does it cost Nintendo to create a unit of Switch 2? This is from Grunk. And basically, the TLDR, without official data, the precise cost remains unknown. But based on available context, like the parts that they're in, Nintendo likely spends between $300 to $350 per unit. Okay. Now, that means that they're making on each one, they're making about 100 to 150. Honestly, I would say they're probably making about $50 because we don't have exacts. However, it feels that I responded, feels odd that the cost of outdated hardware is stalling, and basically kind of covering why the hardware that's in there. Following Nintendo strategy isn't about bleeding edge specs, but about optimizing the ecosystem. Basically, their own little it's about the story and the gameplay, not the graphics. That's what this covers.
Oh, there it is.
Found it.
Yeah.
Yes, but any ideas on how they could reduce costs? First thing comes to mind is them not leaning on proprietary hardware. This is where Nintendo could actually cut the cost of the Switch 2 if they didn't use proprietary chipsets.
But they like their proprietary. It's like Apple.
I know, and
they have a custom NVIDIA chip or something in there.
Yeah, but here's what I'm getting at. Nintendo is making these decisions, and in turn, passing the cost to the consumer instead of making better decisions, in my opinion, and going with non-proprietary chipsets. Now,
yeah, that's what the Vita did too. It shot itself in the foot.
Yeah. Now
they went with their proprietary memory stick instead of going with the widely available mini SD.
So here's the thing. Grok estimates that they could reduce the cost of the Switch 2 to $250 if they would drop their fucking ego. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell I spent a bit of time on this because this pissed me off to a whole new level. All right, so let's switch gears for a moment. What about the cost of developing a game? Mario Kart World specifically. Okay, and it goes to the budget of like their AAA games like Zelda and Last of Us 2 and like just in general, estimate about 100 to 150 million for Last of Us Part 2. It compared it to Sony's, essentially. Team size and labor, tech and tools. See, totaling that up, Mario Kart World likely cost Nintendo 80 to 150 million to develop and launch. The lower end, 80 million, assumes heavy asset reuse and a lean team. The higher end, 150, reflects a bigger scope, blah, blah, blah. Okay, does this shift your view on their price or spark any other angles? Okay, let's go with the high end. For this hypothetical, how many units would they need to sell to break even at retail price? How many at the following points? 40, 50, and 60. Okay? So we're just going to go straight down to the gross revenue. $80, they would only have to sell almost 2 million. We'll say 2 million to break even. They sold over 10 million on the first day of Mario Kart 8. At the lowest price, $40. Say they sold Mario Kart World at $40, they would have to sell at 3.75, almost 4 million, almost double.
Do you think they could do it since they sold 10 million of Mario Kart 8? The answer is yes. This is straight up price gouging.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm probably more laissez-faire. The market will sort itself out. If we don't buy it, then they won't do it.
No. I'm not
But
saying like they should be held accountable to some legal BS. I'm
oh
saying
no, no, not even legal. I'm just saying, like, I'm not even like morally upset about it. Like, hamburgers used to cost 25 or 5 to 25 cents back.
Just about hamburger costs too, but
now they cost anywhere like almost $8 for just a freaking sandwich. And if I don't think it's worth it, I will not eat there. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, games were expensive when we were younger, like when I was a child, at least.
Well, no,
And
games were not that expensive. It's not here.
well, no, brand new games when they first came out, like
you're
like
looking at $60.
yeah, they were like $60 when I was like in the late 90s. I
mean,
think.
here in Ohio, they were like 50, but
yeah, I mean, it's still like prices
still
have changed
about that
since then.
range.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited about it. And the thing is that the one thing that I think that they're saying that inflation being what it is.
Well, that's the thing is this is
well wait. So they're saying that with inflation being what it is, what used to cost $60 would be bumped up to $90 by now. And I don't necessarily know that I agree. But the thing that I think that they're, even if I say, okay, well, that's true, what they're not taking into account is that they're not the only game in town anymore. Back in the day when the games were like $60, that's because you only had like the big 2 or maybe 3 consoles.
Okay,
here you go. You want to see what old video game costs were? Here
in Canada.
So, what is this, Canada?
Yeah, people have been running with those, and they cut out the fact that these prices were not US dollar.
They look like
but they were
to
still
me.
kind of high, because I remember, because we were poors and we couldn't afford the new games. We had to get things that were given to us, or something that my dad found, or like, what is this game? Why is there Marty McFly? So we had like so many off-brand games. It was hilarious. But so even given the thought was the case, though, let's just say that for the sake of argument, this is just the market correcting itself for inflation. Again, this is just assuming that the market is what it used to be. It is not. We don't just have Nintendo and Sega and Sony. Now we have Steam and all of these indie creators. We have so many games. You guys are not the only people out there anymore. I don't think that you can pull those kind of high price dollary dues. A lot of people will be like, cool, I'll just wait till the sale, or I'll just play other games and never worry about you again.
And here's the thing. That's what I've noticed online is a lot of people are like, I would have bought it, but that price point's too high. And a lot of people are like, I'm not going to, because and they're saying exactly what you're saying, Meg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were about 50 to 60, some exceptions reaching 70 to 80 US. Okay, so yeah, maybe that was a page from Toys R Us in Canada if they were operating in Canada.
Yeah, that's a lot of these fanboys are trying to.
But yeah, I mean that was super expensive back then.
That's expensive back then.
Yeah, that's super expensive back then. I didn't realize how expensive they were.
Yeah, I mean, in the 90s, our gas out here was like 87 cents.
Yeah.
So it's 5 something now. So the world has changed. But the thing is that the other thing that has changed is that Super Nintendo, you are not the only place that I can find to get games. I can get games on my phone. I can get games on Steam. Don't get me started on the Steam sales. My God.
Yeah, right.
I've got everybody that I know who games has a backlog that's insane. We're like, yeah, we can wait you out, bro, or we can just find something else. There is always someone else there to take your place. It wasn't the case back then. It is now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm going through with Grunk, and I'll just summarize. Essentially, I was like, Grunk's like, do you think there's going to be backlash? I'm like, yeah, and they're like, Grunk was like, given the response to what's going down, it does seem like there's a massive backlash at the price point, to the point where this does look like it's going to backfire on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fanboys are going to buy it. Do not get me wrong. And I do think that it will be successful to a point. But I think that a lot of the average gamers and a lot of the like general like gaming community is like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, a lot of the parents will be like, I guess Timmy doesn't need that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that's fine. I think that the market will sort itself out, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I think that were Nintendo to keep the price the same, or now hear me out.
I'll hear you.
If Nintendo lowered the price,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
they
know,
are kind of under
Okay.
the industry standard already. But yeah, so there's also going to be this here, which is a welcome tour. It's
Mhm.
apparently a paid, downloadable launch title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like, no, the PlayStation had something similar to this. It was called Astrobot, and it was free. Okay, before they made the game to accompany it that my kids still doesn't know exist. I don't think, because he hasn't asked for it yet. Keep it that way right now. But it was a free demo that showed you how things worked on the system and stuff like that. Sort of a tech demo for the system. You've got to pay for it on Nintendo.
And that's the thing.
Nintendo
People are
is
seeing the
literally, I
greed.
think, shooting themselves in the foot with all this. And from what I saw somewhere, because I can't find it now, apparently they are in panic mode over in Nintendo Japan because of how bad this reaction is, even though their fanboys are literally going, yes, queen, we need this queen. You know, their fanboys are all over it, but a lot of people aren't happy with it, and they are apparently in panic mode over this. So we may see some developing changes over the next week, rapid changes as a result. But I can't find that thing now. So the Switch 2 is going to have some better hardware. It's going to have a graphics chip. It's going to apparently stand on par with the current gen, which I just don't see happening. Because quite frankly, when it comes to Nintendo, I love you, but here's the deal. A lot of the games that you have that I can buy elsewhere, I will buy elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I got Core Keeper on my Switch, by the way, because I enjoyed it so much playing with you, Chad, that I want to take it with me. I also now understand why Chad fucks up when it comes to laying things down sometimes, because playing games like that with a damn controller is fucking hell. I don't know how you do it. I know you like to preach controller supremacy.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
not.
I agree with you on that.
Huh?
I agree with you on that. And what pisses me off is it doesn't have to be that way, because
No, it doesn't.
I played games that they have tight controls for the controller, but it's always an afterthought.
I regret buying it on my Switch because I wanted to take it and play it when I'm over at my parents or whatnot, waiting on the bus and stuff. So I have something to do for the 30 minutes I'm sitting there doing nothing. But I don't like it on my Switch at all. I can't stand it because the controls suck so bad compared to the tight controls of my keyboard and mouse. But yeah, like outside of a few games, like I've got Skyrim on it because I have Skyrim on literally everything. Who doesn't at this point?
Skyrim's on the Casio solar calculator.
Yeah, like it's on my smart fridge, for fuck's sake. If I had a smart fridge, I would have it on there. You know, but for the most part, I only play Nintendo first party lines on my Switch because if I can find it somewhere else, I will buy it somewhere else because it's going to be so much better on that other system.
And a lot of time cheaper.
Yeah, and I think that this is the miscalculation that they're making. I think that this is a mistake that they're making because they think that they're the only game in town. They think, oh, well, people will pay for our proprietary stuff so much. Dude, the Switch being what it is fine, but you act like there's nothing else mobile that we can deal with.
And here's here's the thing with their first party stuff. Cool, you want to charge $80-$90? Awesome. I'm not buying. I'm not. And I know a majority of people aren't. And it's not about the inflation. Yes, inflation's a thing. You know what else is a thing? Shitty economy and poor and low pay. You
Yeah,
can't.
and on top of that, Nintendo is shafting the rest of the world over Japan so they
Yeah.
can move units in their home country.
Yeah.
With the prices. But here's the anti-scalper thing. It's at least 12 months of online membership and 50 plus hours of gameplay played on your Switch 1 because they track that shit.
Yeah.
So that's to prevent people from scalping, which is
smart.
actually really ingenious.
Yeah. I am thumbs up
because
on
that was the first thing when the Switch 2 came out. Everybody made the jokes, well, we're never going to see it for at least 3 years because of the scalpers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the scalpers are bad these days, especially for Pokemon cards, apparently.
Yeah, I saw the two.
You got people upset over the battery life because it's 2 to 6.5 hours on the
There's
new
a note
Switch
on
2.
that, though.
Yeah, I know, because this says half of the original. The original was exactly the same.
Yeah.
But the current generations of Switches have 3 to 7 hours. So, and 4 to 9 hours on the OLD models, which honestly, it's one of those things. It's like Nintendo, you already fixed that problem. Why are you backtracking on that?
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to raise the price that much, you really should put that bigger battery in there, that better battery. When your OLD models are boasting 9 hours of gameplay, and this new one's not going to come close to that. So
yeah, and that's the thing is like I think this is just a array of missteps.
Yeah, so I would rather, you know what? I would actually rather go ahead and just make the purchase of a Steam Deck, which I've been putting off, over getting the Switch 2 right now.
And go ahead and play it because it's hilarious.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. And I need you, and I miss you. Making my way down.
Yeah, it's like, guess what, Nintendo? You're competing.
Yeah,
Start
like
acting
you're
like
competing
it.
right now for you're competing with my computer.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a good run for you.
It's going to be a freaking
I will play
slaughter.
a game of Sea of Thieves over buying your Switch 2.
Yeah. I just think that Nintendo is used to their old model, and that's another reason that
Yeah, here we go. VGC is likely due to tariffs. No, bitch, it's not. It's the
It's
same
absolutely
in Europe
not.
and
But Harry
in
Sisson had thoughts.
EU and Canada and everywhere else.
Trust me, no, he hasn't.
Okay, Harry Sisson had words.
Wait, what?
Harry Sisson was like, "Your lives are getting terrible because Switch 2 isn't being."
What?
He's such
Oh
a dumb.
my gosh.
Breaking: Nintendo has delayed pre-orders for the Switch 2 because of Donald Trump's tariffs. He's ruining America and making your life harder because of Switch 2.
That's the thing. I that was part of what I had heard was they're apparently delaying it now because of the backlash they're receiving from the price points of the games and shit.
Yeah, and they're trying to say because the market is fluctuating because things have
Harry
changed.
Sisson. This is the guy who's constantly lying all the time.
Oh yeah, I know, but I mean, just the level of hysteria. Okay,
everything with him is hysteria. It's breaking news. Oh my god, we're all gonna die. It's like, dude, just shut
swear,
up.
if the first sentence is true, the second sentence is still nonsense. If let's say that they delayed it because of the tariffs, let's say they delay it until freaking June. No pre-orders for America. This is not ruining America.
No,
if this is
not
ruining
even
America.
close.
America has bigger problems than
we have many bigger problems than.
Don't worry, we're gonna figure out a way to play it regardless of whether it's out or not.
He's making your life harder. He's ruining the country. Oh my god!
Please believe me.
How will you survive? You can't buy Nintendo too. No Switch. What
versions? The Japan only and the multi-language one.
See, this makes me think that honestly, there's no way they're going to undercut their console. They're making a profit on that, which tells me at 334 they're making a profit.
Well, the only difference is the language.
Does it take a lot of extra hardware to actually have that many languages? Does it take up that much space in the console?
Hell no.
It shouldn't.
No.
Everything
Well,
else
I
is
don't
like
know.
all
I'm
the
legitimately asking.
Language packs are like text documents in size.
That's what I would assume, but I just don't know. Like, what
Yeah.
does it require?
Yeah, it requires
I mean, heck,
very little.
if I could buy it and say I just want the English only version at the 334 price, I would do it.
Actually, you know what? I can give you an idea of what a language, because language packs are .tff files,
Mhm.
and .tff files are what I work with on GIMP. So fonts, TFF. Let's see. No, this
You mean
is.
TTF?
I'm going to actually hit properties and let's see. I have
Gaijin
probably. What? I didn't hear you.
That's fantastic. I love that so much.
Oh, Gaijin text. So.
You know what? I don't care.
32
if it's
files.
worth it to me, I'll pay for it. If it's not, then I won't.
32 files. So imagine 32 languages. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 megabytes.
Then that shouldn't cause that much. But I don't know why. Maybe they're pulling the Trump thing. They're being like, make Japan great again, you know? And they're going to be like, we're Japan first. All right.
Like,
that's cool. But the thing is that but since we are not Japanese, we are the Gaijin. We can just make our decisions then. People, we see games, we know what they are. We have our own games. We have other places to buy games. If it is not worth it to you, don't buy it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
Here's the specs for the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
It is slightly bigger, slightly weighs heavier. The screen will support 1920.
I don't play it on the Switch itself. I play it on my television always because whenever I go somewhere, it's not because I've been dragged somewhere. It's because I went somewhere to do a thing. So I don't have time for this.
Switch 1 is like at 720
on
its screen, so this one's going to be 1920 because it's finally fixing itself or whatnot. It's got its custom processors by NVIDIA, and they've increased the storage from 32 gigs, which was always a blunder to me, to 256 gigs for internal.
They're
almost
caught up.
Huh?
They're almost caught up.
Yeah, almost caught up.
Because they also
almost caught up to like 2012. Good on
They
them.
also got super excited for essentially discovering Discord.
But it should also have like a micro SD slot somewhere. Yeah, micro SD.
Honestly, the thing that pisses me off the most about this is the lack of being able to buy a physical game and having that mean something. That's the only thing that actually makes me angry with all of this.
Yeah, that I am not okay with.
Yeah, there's no reason to even buy a physical copy with the Switch 2.
It legitimately makes me upset. Like, if someone gave me a Switch 2, I'd be like considering reselling it just because of that. That makes me upset. And the thing is that some of the games that I have on Switch, I purchased on digitally. I don't mind, but if I purchase something physically, I want to be able to have it physically. You trying to deprive me of that makes me angry. I don't like it. I resent it strongly. And I don't think I want this system. Even if when they come out with another Zelda, I'd be like, it's alright, Chief. I think I'm good.
Alright, so we're ready to detox for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
From Nintendo.
Are we toxed though? Are we really toxed?
From this Nintendo shit.
Facebook. Ugh, who's on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I think that every time you post a link.
Listen, it's so much easier for me to be on Facebook than it is for anything else. Because Facebook has its own algorithm of things that I see, and then YouTube has its own algorithm, and Rumble has its own thing, and I try not to mix them. So,
that makes sense. We'll play.
Whatever.
You fellas need a ride?
I gotta ask, man. What's it like living without the internet?
It's all right. I just get photos of your mom through the mail.
Damn.
Damn.
All right.
All right. Let's bring up another one.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a wizard war. I cast manual breathing. You bastard.
Abracadabra, flagellus clotion. Give that wizard testicular torsion! Testicular torsion casters are always acting tough. Right until a wizard casts. Mind! Butt
I cast testicular torsion. I cast manual breathing.
That sounds like Chad.
Instant Brazilian wax!
Oh.
I cast testicular torsion. Ooh, I cast instant Brazilian wax.
I cast endometriosis!
Oh, you ugly anyways. Oh, is that how it's gonna be, Jeremy?
I cast iron!
You cast iron what?
Oh yeah, I cast rubber bones!
Ah, you dick, I needed those.
You'll never catch me, wizard. I cast tungsten bullsack!
So fancy with all your spells. I cast itchy bones.
Oh, that's
horrible.
I cast total tongue awareness.
Dude, that's a thing.
I cast
Oh, I hate that so much.
$100 million.
In nickels.
I cast... Stop being mean to me! I cast... extremely slow internet!
I cast big forehead.
I cast locked out of phone.
You monster.
I would cast repel maidens upon thee, but I see another wizard has beat me to it.
I cast.
Fuck you! I'm not going to announce my fucking spells anymore. You will find out what they are when they obliterate the shit out of you.
1, 2.
You know what? You know what that just makes me think of? That makes me think that most media that we watch, they do not use magic properly. They don't. It pisses me off. You're just like, if you use that a little bit better, this isn't even a thing. Like,
Right.
yeah, like even in Avatar: Last Airbender, right? Dude has the ability to, use air. Like, why don't you could kill everybody in the room by just taking away their ability to breathe.
Well, actually, it's funny because they actually cover that bloodbending and a couple others.
Oh no, I remember the bloodbending thing, but the thing is that I'm just
this
like,
was in like the comic and the graphic novel. Apparently, Toph can destroy the world at will because she knows a taboo bending style for earthbenders that's like lava bending. She can literally destroy the core of the planet if she wanted to.
but Aang could kill everybody in a room.
I mean, if you make a volcano appear in the room, you're killing everybody in the room.
Well, no, I mean it would take a little bit less time. Like how long does it take the lava to get to you, as opposed to how often do you need to breathe?
Well,
That is true.
True.
Yeah, you just make an air bubble around somebody's head, and they basically just you don't even have to pull the air out of their lungs, which actually would be easy, but you make an air bubble around their head to where they're just recycling and they're just breathing their own carbon monoxide, and that's it. And
I mean, you can also collapse their
carbon dioxide,
lung,
sorry.
and as soon as you do that, it's GG. Next one.
All right.
I mean, and then you think of, what was it? Not Endgame, Infinity War, and Doctor Strange not using his powers well. It just made me angry.
Suddenly appear every time you are
That's great.
near.
Gotta love Monster Hunter.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time?
Okay, so I didn't figure out that you can't use a fork in a toaster until I was in my 30s.
Oh gosh.
Oh what?
If
How
you
did that
if
go for
nobody
you?
tells you, how would you know?
So how did that go for you? Did your hair stand on end for a
No,
week?
I was like, hey, my toast is stuck. And I was like, hey, I have a fork. And my sister like snatched my hand, my younger sister, of course, because I'm the oldest, and that's totally, yeah. They all think I'm gonna die alone. They think I'm gonna die in a ditch someday. My sister, like, you're silent, Chad.
Back.
Fuck you.
I said Royzy will be back.
Every time, right around the 2-hour mark.
Yep. And yeah, and so she snatches my hand away and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm getting my toast. I'm hungry." She's like, "You can't put a fork in a toaster? Why? You'll get electrocuted." You're kidding. So and she was just she looked so disappointed in me. I will never forget that look. Although, to be fair, I've been getting that look my entire life, so you know, like I was like, I haven't seen that look in a while. That look of utter just sadness and disappointment. It's good to let people down. It's fun.
All right, what's your next one, Zia?
15 seconds, a home is broken into. That's why you need United Nations Home Security. United Nations Home Security protects your home exactly how the United Nations has protected countries since 1945. Dispatching to your house a team of highly trained, unarmed observers. Their job is to watch the burglar and take notes. His every move is seen and carefully documented. Then our 192-member United Nations Home Security Council debates until everyone can agree on an appropriate response, such as economic incentives. And if that doesn't work, economic sanctions. And if that also doesn't work, strongly worded condemnations. And if nothing else works, we will be forced to invite the burglar to join the United Nations Home Security Council. United Nations.
I hate how accurate that is.
Nothing we wouldn't do for you. But
yeah,
little we can.
That's so true. We need to be out of that. Just
So you don't want United Nations Home Security System?
No, I don't need
You
someone
know-
writing down. I can write down the things that were stolen. That's cool. I don't need somebody else to observe.
You know, I'm actually shocked at how much we got through.
Yeah, we did all the things, man.
We did.
2 minutes
Wait,
ahead of
I-
schedule.
Yeah.
We've done the things and we've been cleansed.
All right,
Marketing
one
team.
more and then we'll call that. How's that?
All right.
Marketing team deserves a raise.
Snuffy the seal, who washed up on shore injured and dehydrated. We now go live to Snuffy's triumphant return to the sea.
We are just moments away from releasing Snuffy, the rescued seal, back into the ocean. And now you see it, Snuffy's triumphant return.
Holy
Shark
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so that basically made it so that every guy is like, I will totally watch that, and every woman is like, I will never watch Shark Week again. That's
My kid loves Shark Week, by the way.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if that was actually like legitimately a thing, or if it was like memed into existence.
Hey, real quick,
It's a Discovery Channel thing.
Oh, I I know what it is, but like, was that organic or was it just like
I
that's a
don't
cool Kinder
remember.
thing?
They just started doing Shark Week at some point, and it's all
Zio,
sharks all the time.
Was this
do
before or
second-
after Sharknado?
Before.
No idea.
They were doing Shark Week before Sharknado.
Yeah.
Second from the last one. That's
That
for
was probably
you.
the inspiration for Sharknado, honestly.
All right, so second from the last one. This one?
Yep.
All right. I laughed at this way too long.
So I'm non-binary.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? Just sat down.
Oh, that's
and
great.
it's not incorrect. It just ugh. I hate the dialogue in these modern games is so cringe.
Real quick, Zio, this is for Meg.
This is for Meg.
No, don't play something for me. It's just gonna make me angry. We don't have time for me to rant.
It's
You'll
not
have to go to
going.
sleep.
It's
He's
not
gonna turn
anger.
into a pumpkin.
It's not anger.
Not anger. All right. Let's see what it says.
You like the wizards, right?
Hickeys? Did the wizard you're dating give you those?
Oh, yeah. Turns out they're a necromancer.
Wow.
How are things going with the necromancer you're dating?
Oh, was there more? There's more.
They said they want to raise a family with me. Wow, that seems really fast.
Yeah, it should be. They're buried pretty close together.
So the bodybuilder I'm dating? Bodybuilder? I thought you were dating a necromancer. Isn't that what I said? You should see their deadlifts. How are things going with the necromancer you're dating?
That's it.
Badly, we're fighting.
Oh wait.
They're mad because
No, that's not it.
Stole their heart. Wait, why would that be a bad thing? Yeah, that's what I said. They've got like a dozen more in their study. Sometimes I worry they only want me for my body.
A little bit funny.
You know what? That's kind of my entire experience playing Cat Quest 3.
I love it.
All right.
Which I do love, by the way. But yeah,
So
you're just sitting there like, ugh.
That. It is the end of the night. I have to work tomorrow, and we went through all the things for a change. Woo!
Hey, Zio.
Yes.
The very last one is actually something I found for you.
Just did everything. Want me to do
He
another
was
one?
trying to wrap up and everything.
I know.
I know, but I think Zio would really like that.
Okay.
It's just too hard to say goodbye. That's all it is. We understand.
All right.
And this will be the last one, I promise.
Last one, and then we can do the outros.
Yes.
We carry mind flayer parasites.
What?
Within days, we will be gay. Mind flayers.
Oh,
It's always sunny in Baldur's Gate.
So what are we to do now?
Well, I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm gonna get real weird with it. What a sweet little birdie. You want some food? Want some... Ah, you...
The goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher, and later even my lover.
You bang my dead wife?
Oh, yes.
Look out!
Death is not the end, merely another beginning.
That's good. Can you conjure the dead? Can you get my dead whore wife back here so I can lay into her from the other side?
Nightmare fuel. All right.
Guest. Ongo Goblogian, the art collector. Put the bottle in.
I did.
Oh my god.
Don't judge me. This is art. Allow me to
Boy, you got
Don't judge me. This is hard.
bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative. That I love. I absolutely love.
It looks like he may commit suicide.
That's
Suicide is
exactly what he's
badass.
doing.
You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence.
I did what I did. You don't like it, you can kiss my ass.
That's it. I thought you'd like that since we've been playing Baldur's Gate again.
Real quick. This right here. I'm disappointed that this whole thing, I think, got changed in the game.
Wait, what?
So I saw clips where I'm pretty sure it's Lysander's mace or whatever it's called. It's the relic that's over near the Gith Kresh. That's like a really epic item or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I think they changed that entire quest line because essentially you can get Asterion killed in it. Because you take it, it causes the entire temple to practically implode on itself.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's now like mixed in with the Kresh. If that's not how that works anymore, as far as I'm aware, there's like no other way of doing unlocking it without getting the correct thing to even get to that spot to begin with now, and it doesn't bring the temple down. Because this is what, or one of the clips that I saw that made me really want to play this.
Yeah.
Was people repeatedly killing Asterion in it or whoever, because they'll grab the mace and then run for it, right?
Yeah.
And if you can get out, you keep the mace and stuff, but if one of your other guys are in the temple, they get crushed and killed.
They die. Okay.
And then you bring them back, and he's like, "You killed me! You got me killed!" It's like burning and all this other stuff. Let me see if I can find some of those clips.
Well, I know, like, when you first meet him, you just outright murder his ass, and he's like, well, that was rude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that, too. The Blood of Lysander. That's what it's called.
What is this?
Asterion. Let's see. I think that's it.
I opened up a whole can of worms now.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't my fault.
No, it was my fault, 100%.
Mm-hmm. As long as you
I don't know if I can find it, because I don't know exactly what I'm looking for anymore.
Obviously, I'm glad we didn't level the monastery with that sun cannon, but come on.
Or maybe you can do it. I just don't know how. I have no idea.
Whatever.
Obviously, I'm glad we didn't level the
That's the
monastery
thing.
with that
It
sun
did do a
cannon,
lot. They did a lot of
but
changes between where they actually
you can't
launched
say
when
you weren't
when we bought the
little
game,
curious to see what would
and when it
happen.
was originally doing.
Really? Where's your sense of curiosity? Some people just don't appreciate the wonders the world has to hold, I suppose.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. No, I did not need to see that. Asterion romance scene. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to find it. Anyway. It's a good game. Meg should play.
What game? This game? No.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
It doesn't. Honestly, it just doesn't seem like my jam. Honestly,
No.
I mean, you've seen the cute stuff I play, right?
Yeah.
It's always slightly whimsical. This doesn't seem whimsical. It seems
It's very
self-serious.
whimsical.
It's whimsical when your, naked dwarf buddy jumps into a hole.
That's not
for no reason whatsoever. It's
Hey.
like I make a hole, and he goes, "Okay," and then I'm like, "Did you just jump in the hole?" Yeah. Oh, are you okay? No.
There's a lot of pissed off dudes, and they really don't like that I'm naked. No, I think they're as surprised as I was.
Anyway, so that's the end of this. We do this every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Unless I can't make it for whatever reason, then follow on X to find out. But yeah, so links for everybody, of course, is in the description down below. Chad, are you doing anything this week? Because we know you are.
Yeah, I'm looking at playing Loftia co-op with Joe. Tomorrow we're going to be probably doing more Repo.
What's a Loftia?
It's like Harvest Moon meets floating islands and flying around to them for material.
Okay.
I found it like today.
Well, follow him to find out what it is, guys.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, we're also looking at doing Zombieville USA 3D. Starting that sometime. There's a lot of things, honestly, and a lot of it's kind of up in the air.
Lofty is not available yet. Doesn't even say when it's available.
Am I thinking of a different? Hang on a second.
This is Loftia.
A loft. Sorry, not Loftia.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a completely different game.
Yeah, my bad. Though Loftia looks good too.
Okay.
Yeah, see, again, this is the thing that Nintendo isn't understanding. There are so many games to play, so many fish in this particular sea.
Look at this, and it's $20 on sale right now.
Yeah.
$20, and I guarantee you they're making a profit.
Oh yeah, and I don't have a problem with them making a profit. They can make
I'm
all the profit.
saying they're making a profit at 20. They don't need to.
Oh yeah.
Drop $80, $90 price point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Nintendo just thinks that they don't have to be competitive. That's their problem. And if the market, decides, you know what, I think that Nintendo just gotta have it kind of stuff, then maybe they're right. Maybe they don't need to compete. But
no,
I don't think that they're.
I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that keeps them from not doing multi-platform releases of their main titles too. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but if their main titles aren't competing with what's out there, then it ain't gonna matter.
Well, that's the thing. It's competing purely with the Nintendo fanboys, and there's a lot of them. So, I mean, heck, they got a new Donkey Kong coming down the pipeline. So
that's the thing. The showing for the Switch 2 was strong.
Yeah,
but it wasn't that strong enough. Let me tell you,
it wasn't.
So what did they have there that did look interesting? Because I have a job and a husband, so I didn't watch it. But what did they have in there?
They got Mario Kart. They got a bunch of third party stuff. They got a new 3D Donkey Kong that looks really good.
I don't know, man. I'm still I love country.
They're redoing Zelda.
The problem is when it comes to the third party stuff, it's better on another system.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the downside. Unless you
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
But yeah, like Bravery Default HD. Yeah, that was Bravery Default. I think is theirs, right? No, that's available somewhere else, right? I think anyway.
So. Yeah, pretty sure it's on Steam.
They'll be able to run Cyberpunk 2077 now. Why in the world would you want to play it on your Switch?
I don't
know. Anyway, Fortnite's given. It's It's available. Hitman, Hogwarts Legacy, Mario Kart, the Welcome Tour. I'm dying now. Ruin Factory, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, which I think is also available on the Switch right now. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
also
by the way,
those games that I would never play on a console to begin with. I know people do, but if I have access to it on the PC, Civilizations is one of those games I will never play on a console.
and
I
by the
would
way,
only play it
they
on
said
console if
that
I had no other choice.
there's key games where you can buy a upgrade to the Switch too.
Oh, yeah, you can buy the upgrade to the Switch 2 version because that's probably what this is, Nintendo Switch Edition or 2
Yeah.
Edition.
Yeah.
So you can buy the
So
upgrade.
I think it's
for
like
it.
$10 or something. I don't know, but
Let's see, Street Fighter,
or they could just make it backwards compatible.
Survival Kids, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition.
Don't
Or
care.
I could just play that on my PC. I mean, I would never do that, of course. Yakuza, if you want to play that on your Switch. The thing is, all these games, with the exception of Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and like World Tour here, pretty sure they exist on all the other systems right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's like no reason to buy them here on Switch 2. It's not got a strong enough thing outside of its first party titles to even make it worthwhile.
And here's the thing. One of the few bonuses that there are to playing something on a console is that you have the option to own the game.
Yeah.
As in own the physical copy of that game and do with it what you will. If I want to just not own a game, have that basically sword of Damocles hanging over my head, I can buy it on Steam. This is not a problem. It's
And the
not hard
funny
to
thing
do.
is, so say Steam, I don't know, goes under, you can still access the EXEs.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still have access to it, even if you don't have access to Steam.
Oh, I'm sorry, Donkey Kong's not a launch title, I don't think.
I think it's coming out like a month after.
6 weeks after. But yeah, I mean,
2
just
months
looking at this, the notable, relatively strong lineup of first party titles include Mario Kart World, and that's it. That's the end of that sentence, guys. I'm sorry. It is. Legend of Zelda, both of those already exist on your Switch.
Yeah.
And also, what
they're not launch
doing,
titles for the Switch too.
What they're doing with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, to me, is just so convoluted. If I'm playing a console, I'm not going to be like, here, let me look at my cell phone so I can see this.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no.
I haven't watched the direct.
There's an app for your phone that will but that will basically interact with the game where like you can see a mini map and where you're at and if there's stuff nearby, kind of like a tingle tuner.
Why don't they just do that on the screen?
They did in the original version. You had a thing where you could just set it on the map and like.
The only thing that I would want them to change on that would be I want you to make it so that I can mute it, but still have it on. Like that noise was so irritating to me. I was like, look, I can just look and see the bars getting larger or smaller. You don't need the sound.
Yeah.
It filled me with a little bit of rage. I have a problem with noise pollution in general, so that might be it. But
anyway, it's 20 after.
Yeah, I think Zelda. I think the Zio's turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Anyway, is Meg gonna play anything?
I think I'm actually getting to the end of Cat Quest. I beat the. I mean, the thing is, like, last episode, not the last episode, but the episode before last one. I beat the Pirate King on accident. I was like, "Hey, what's over here?" And I found him, and I was like, "Oh no, this is a fight!" So I fought him for my furry life, and I survived. and now I have his clothes, so he's running around naked somewhere. And yeah, so yeah, it looks like I'm like doing a lot of side quests. The only thing I have left on the board of things to beat, I think I have the squid boss and that duck boat. The duck boat terrifies me. I don't know why. But it's just scary. I don't know. A giant rubber ducky with like one like an angry little eye and the other one's got an eye patch over it just scares me somehow.
Wait, that sounds like the mascot for a heavy metal band I listen to. It's literally a pirate heavy metal band.
Oh, it's the big duck boat that floats around and kills you.
It does. The insta kills, yeah.
It's the murder boat.
I was like, oh,
let's see. As for me, I've got some videos to upload from our Baldur's Gate expedition. Whatever I recorded it, so I'll upload that at some point. Chad streamed it if you want to go see his side of things and see how I accidentally shot a beam into his back. And if you want to see how that worked, you can go see my version of it and see what actually happened. Anyway,
let's find out who shot first. All right.
Who shot first? Look, I was shooting at something. He got in the way. It happens. And then there was a spot where a barrel blew up and, things happened. They were accidents.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made, and his face was in somebody's crotch. So,
Oh, yeah.
Why does this duck look like it has lips?
It might.
That's unnerving.
But Ailstorm, it's awesome band.
What was it?
Ailstorm, ALESTORN.
Yeah, you dropped the picture in Discord.
Oh, that's why I can't see it. Okay.
No.
Oh, it does look like it has lips.
Right? Yeah. It's kind of unnerving. Makes me uncomfortable inside.
It's not the same thing. This boat murders you. Anyway.
Wait. So do you just have to like get good and never get hit by the duck, or do you ever get like upgrades that are good enough to survive duck fight?
I don't know.
Didn't you play this game?
I did.
How do you forget how to beat the duck?
Because I haven't beaten the duck. I haven't played in a while.
You didn't finish? Oh, that's right.
I got sidetracked.
You know that.
Look, I know I finished the first one. I just never got around to finishing the third one.
Well, you're no help at all. Why am I friends with you?
No. Unfortunately not. But yeah, so.
All right, well, guys, watch me get wrecked by a duck boat on, what is it, Thursday? Yes, Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, I might have to change my avatar for that. I have one where I'm screaming in terror, and that might be my expression.
And remember, guys, don't do quack.
Don't do quack.
He was waiting for that.
He was. I'll see.
He was. He had that loaded in his cannon. He was like, yes.
We will see you in the next one.
Bye.